Actually, the individual that was just here before you, we was talking about success and what it means to them. And his meant was to be able to give back, to be able to, I believe, spend time with his family. But a lot of it was giving back to teach the youth, to teach those that are becoming behind him. That is success to him. So if you can define success for you, what would be success?
I understand exactly where he's coming from because, I've said that plenty of times on my Instagram too. You define your level of success because at the end of the day, even though people should pat you on the back and tell you that you're doing good, and you know what I mean, like that love that you got to give it to yourself first.
Yeah.
Because nobody really gives a fuck.
Yeah.
Nobody
cares about the struggles unless,
For me, like, success is me being able to wake up and know that I'm plentiful because I have food to eat. I have a home. I completed my project.
Right.
You know what I mean? And the resources that I have, I'm actually utilizing them. And I'm crossing things out. Even it's a lot of things that I feel like I've done that is very successful that nobody knows about unless I share it with them. You know what I mean? So, and that's what helps me continue to get by and keep on striving.
Yeah. Well, that's a good way of living because when you're able to know yourself, you're able to help others around you. And I found that as growing as a young man, a lot of times we hear today it's a mental health problem out here. And I don't know if a lot of people are dealing with it, but if you are, just know you got an outlet to come to me to talk to. Like you can tell, I just want to talk. And if you just need to be that person to talk and I'm here to listen, I'll be able to do that too. I'm able to really feel out that individual to see what their need is for that section. So mental health is a big thing that I look at as like a lot of people need to take that time to learn about themselves. Like I had my cousin talk to me the other day and he was telling me about the things that he was going through. And I was like, the main problem is you're not caring for yourself. Care for yourself, and you'll see everything else around you change from financially, relationshiply, career-wise, and the mindset will have to develop because you're gonna have setbacks. You're gonna have these things that gonna be like hurdles and hard to overcome. But you have to understand, like pushing through that is literally making you a better version of yourself.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and also, like people have to understand that usually like mental health because I've dealt with it, especially because I was actually in the service. I was in the Navy, honorable discharge. Okay, but when you really can't control, like when people feel like they're out of control and they feel imbalanced, with their selves, that's when they tend to come into like depression or you know what I mean, or because it's the setting, it's the environment, and you're paying attention to too much of what you see that it causes this thing in your mind. You're not releasing enough endorphins. When you don't release, because endorphins is not, people take drugs and endorphins are released, but endorphins are also released from just natural instincts of like satisfaction of the human mind.
Right.
So when you're not giving yourself that quality time and you're not giving yourself that happy space, you're not releasing those endorphins. It does something to your brain because it's unhealthy. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it causes a breakdown, and when you feel those feelings, it's literally your brain telling you, hey, we need to make ourselves more active, more happy, more motivated. We need to go and search and find. And when people like, I'm searching for something, but you got to realize the love is in you. But you got to, like what picks up that love, you know what I mean? Like what strikes it, what triggers it.
That's true. So what's one thing that may have, will not have, but will trigger your love? Or,
that's a weird kind of question.
I'm just saying, like, if someone does a nice favor, or if it can be just for you.
I mean, that doesn't really stifle me like it used to. because I know that like one of my love languages, you know, I discovered was
because y'all ladies do like to talk about them love languages. I don't. Every time I'm not this no
was gifts, but I mean it's just from family too. You know what I mean? Because like literally what you
is true.
What you lacked as a child is what you look for as an adult. So I mean, with me, like, and it's also like what you were used to receiving as a child. With me, more so, it hasn't really been so much about gifts because, you know, like I was spoiled.
So the gift giving is not really a love. Like, it doesn't trigger that love language for you.
It doesn't trigger that. Yeah. What triggers my love language is quality time, talking, and fucking sex, which sucks.
What? Why is? Oh, are you saying sex sucks, or are you just saying that it sucks?
I'm saying no. That's one of my. That's like
that doesn't suck.
Like touch, feel, grab.
God made that.
I mean, He made that, but what I'm saying is, it sucks because you know, I gotta differentiate like what really is love, of what really is like somebody like loving all of me,
right? Not
just loving my body, like you said. You're beautiful. Like I know I got body.
Yeah, but it's not even that. It's your mindset. Like me, I can't say I'm a different breed because I ain't gonna come like that because it's a respect that I have for women where I consider just myself to understand every woman is beautiful though.
Yeah.
And I'm teaching that. Like that's the path I'm teaching for these young men. I know these men right now in my age. They on their own thing. But I'm looking for those individuals that are younger.
Everybody's different. I'm not going to say that. I mean, some people are just more comfortable with showing that. But but the question that you asked me.
Okay, go back.
You asked me like what.
That's basically your love language.
Yeah, you asked me what grabs my love, and that's what grabs my love. Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that at all because, you know, I'm pretty sure as a man, I don't say I have a love language. Everything is my love language. You can give me gifts. You can spend time with me. You can show me affection, and like you said, we can
touch and feel. That's actually one of the love languages. I know that's a definition of it. You know. So
it's like all of it, man. And if I'm able to not only present that to that same person, but they can do the same thing for me, show me love, affection, gift giving, time, and we just have a great understanding of where we going. Because sometimes I don't need your time. I need time to myself.
I definitely like time to myself.
You know what I'm saying? And I need that young woman to understand, like, I have something going on. I have something I'm planning to do in the future that takes that time away from you. Not saying it's not going to always be like that, but you have to, as a man, present her and show her she's not a side piece. You know, show her more affection than you do somebody like that. But also give her understanding, like, I'm on the grind, baby. Like, this is what I'm doing. So a lot of times it won't be as poetically projected.
I'm a romancer too. So I've been really big. I don't like, and it's not just my fantasy from the Disney movies I watched as a child. But since I'm a writer, and you know, it's different type of artists, but I'm a writer. You know, like poetry is something that I do. I don't always like my poetry is my music, but I have poetry that I keep to myself.
Okay.
And dope. Like you know, it'll come out one day. I'm like really big on romance. So even though I'm not really big on the gifts, you know what I mean? And people would think, well, like, she wants a broke nigga. I want a fucking broke nigga. I want somebody that's passionate as well about what they do. And somebody that, you know, is motivated. I don't want a lazy ass motherfucker that just sit on their ass and want you to do everything. You gotta be fucking doing something.
Something to bring some value.
Something. You know, but I like fucking